Bark helped my house. It did not save my house. And that difference matters because the app gave me visibility. It did not do the fatherhood for me. A lot of people want the easy version of this story. You install the tool, the chaos calms down. Everyone breathes easier. This is not what happened here. What happened was more useful than that, but also more complicated. Because Bark did not solve the deeper issue. What it did was help me see the issue sooner. And as a father, sometimes that changes everything. When you are parenting through stress, school issues, screen issues, emotional dysregulation, secrecy, and trust, it cracks a lot of problems and they feel sudden. They feel random. Like 1 minute, everything is manageable, and the next minute, your whole house is off balance. But most of the time, the chaos is not sudden. It builds quietly. It builds in blind spots, in little patterns, in things you do not catch early enough. And that is where Bark actually helped me. What Bark improved was visibility. That is the word, visibility. There were fewer blind spots, fewer gray areas, fewer chances for something unhealthy to keep growing in the dark. Once there were stronger guardrails around the phone, clear boundaries around screen time, and better monitoring, I could catch things earlier instead of always reacting late. And reacting late will wear a parent out. I remember one moment where I realized how tired I was of always being late. Late to the pattern, late to the stress, late to what was building underneath the behavior. Something would surface, I would respond. Things would settle for a minute, then something else would hit. And I was parenting in reaction instead of leadership. That is what Bark helped interrupt. Not fatherhood itself, the delay. It gave me earlier signals. It showed me where pressure was building before it turned into a bigger mess. That part was real. That part helped. This episode is sponsored by Bark. And honestly, Bark fits this conversation because this is not theoretical for me. This is not me reading features off a website and pretending that counts as lived experience. Bark helped me because it gave me better visibility. It gave me tools for content monitoring, screen time management, app and website blocking, location features, and alerts that help surface problems earlier. And for me, that matters because sometimes the hardest part of parenting is not just what happened, it's how late you found out. Bark helped me see patterns earlier. It helped me put stronger guardrails around devices. It helped me parent with more clarity and less guessing. Now, let me be clear. Bark is not a substitute for fatherhood, parenthood, motherhood. It is not a substitute for conversations. Consistency or trust building. But it can be a strong support tool when you are trying to protect your child and create healthier digital boundaries at home. If you want to check out Bark, the Bark phone, or the Bark app, use my link in the description. But here's the part people miss. The tool never became the parent. It did not build judgment. It did not heal trauma. It did not make honesty automatic. It did not remove school stress. It did not erase loneliness. It did not stop edge testing. What it did was expose patterns. It gave me more information. It showed me where the pressure points were. But after that, it still took real father work. Hard conversations, follow through, repetition, consequences, listening, repair. And that is no app. And that is the part no app can do for you, because what was underneath still had to be dealt with. Defiance, bargaining, secrecy, half truths, shutdowns, emotional overload, avoidance. That part was still mine to carry. That is the nuance. Tech helped. Structure was necessary, but the relationship still had to do the heavy lifting. Structure meant routines, predictable expectations, supervised access, school coordination, therapy coordination, trusted adults, documentation, and not turning every single day into a negotiation. Because some homes get tired of conflict. Because some homes get tired from conflict. Mine got tired from inconsistency. But relationship meant something different. It meant listening without making every conversation feel like an interrogation. It meant separating what was proven from what was only suspected. It meant making room for honesty, even when honesty came late. It meant showing him that boundaries were not punishment. They were protection. Trust did not come back because an app existed. Trust came back because the boundaries stayed steady and the relationship stayed open. And that is the part I do not want parents to miss. You cannot monitor your way into connection. You cannot app your way into trust. You cannot outsource discernment. You still have to show up. One of the biggest lessons for me is that this was never just about screen behavior. It was about the whole ecosystem around him. Safety at school, bullying, stress, content exposure, sleep, emotional regulation, health habits, routine, consistency. Because parenting is rarely about one device. Usually, it is about the system around the child. Sometimes, the phone is not the real issue. It is just the most visible place where the deeper issue shows up. And once I understood that, I stopped asking, how do I control this one thing? And I started asking, What system do I need to strengthen around him? That question changed how I parent. If this episode hit home, drop a comment and tell me this. Have you ever had a tool help your household, but not solve the real issue? Because I think more parents need to have that conversation. Honestly. And if you're trying to build healthier digital boundaries in your own home, check out Bark using the link below. Then subscribe and share this with another parent and keep building with me here on Father First. On the next episode of Father First, I want to go deeper into what happens after guardrails go up. Not just what the tool exposed, but what rebuilding trust actually required after that. Because boundaries are one thing, repair is another. A lot of fathers know how to enforce. Fewer of us get taught how to rebuild. So that's the real sequel. Some things got better because of the guardrails and them working. Some things still needed real parenting because no app can substitute for presence, discernment, and consistency. Bark helped me to see the problem sooner, but it still took fatherhood to do something about it. The tool helped, the structure mattered, but the relationship still carried the weight. And that is the part I do not want parents to miss.